Yeah. We're to the judge's decision, see who will be our.
And, people think it's easy to tie your belt up after an 8-minute match, but geez, these guys got to be pretty darn tired.
And
great performance by both
and
men.
Profe Rick Hahn takes it. You know, that is my tournament technique. I kind of tie my belt loose, so when it comes off of me, I get the breather. You know, you get the breather. When you guys get breakup, you get the breather. Just take all those deep breaths, just get your breath back in.
See, I come from a traditional martial arts background before I ever touched jiu-jitsu, so we had a different manner in which we tied the belt. My way takes a lot longer, probably about double the amount of time. So I've definitely raised a few eyebrows in tournaments.
I want to give a huge shout out to one of our many vendors in the building today.
All right, and we're back now with our 170-pound match.
So we have Brad Wolfson, the owner of Soulcraft BJJ in Hamden, Connecticut, versus Pete Jeffrey of Triforce. Brad's actually a very dear friend of ours at Ronin. Has a great academy. Just, you couldn't ask for a nicer guy in the world.
Oh, but
Brad's pretty tall and long, but he's under there. He's pretty sneaky strong. Pretty good guard play here.
He's trying to go for a little seated sweep there really quick.
Brad's got a super aggressive guard, and that's what I like to see for a bottom player. If you're going to pull guard, be aggressive with your leg work. Be aggressive with your guard play.
Yeah. And I think Pete needs to watch out. I see Brad's grabbing that leg a lot.
And they're joking around with each other. And,
it's all for a good cause. All for a good cause. And once again, like I said, if you're at home, you are enjoying the matches, don't forget to just visit our website, TapCancerOut.org. Make a donation. All goes to support Alexis Lemonade Stand Foundation, which is to help fight the good cause against cancer. So let's all help Tap Cancer Out.
All right.
Sorry there. Chilling time is over. Back to the match.
There we go. I'm trying to get control of that head here.
Yeah, and you know, with as active as you see Brad from the bottom, you could tell it's making Pete a little hesitant to stand up. Because the second he stands up, Brad's immediately trying to attack for something.
Absolutely, you stand up in the guard, fully expect a De La Hiva to be put on you. You know, kind of Brad's pretty good at swimming in for the X guard. You know, he's just got a lot of options. So right now, Pete's just got to work on his posture, get Brad a little frustrated, slow the pace of this match down a little bit. You know, you're going to find your openings; they're going to be there.
It's definitely just one like the things where like your opponent's physicality plays into. You know, obviously as we said before, at the start of the match, Brad's tall and lanky, and you know, in comparison to Pete, so you know he might be finding himself in a bigger guard than he
right.
Than
you know, the legs aren't.
To be.
You know, you get a feel for the legs; they're not exactly where you think they're going to be. You know, I've always found it more frustrating against guys who are Brad's body type that are long and lanky, but adequately strong at the same time.
Oh, definitely. Now, you know what I've noticed now, not only in the first two matches, and I'm seeing again this match, we're seeing a lot of that passing of the jacket through the legs, grabbing it from behind, being able to try to secure it, trying to sit up with it.
You know, you can make that lapel almost work like its own underhook. It's an underhook with a little, like, it's like having a longer arm, basically. So we play around in the gym a lot with that. But you got to be real careful because you get a hold of those, and you know you could wear your grips out midway through the match, and that's a bad place to be in a.
And we see it once again. There he's like trying to like feed it. He's trying to pass it through. open up a bit.
Yeah, if Brad can release his left arm, he's going to feed that lapel throw and use it as an underhook on that leg and come up as if it's a single.
There, Pete there try to try to get a reaction with like the little half back step. And he's just gonna try to just force his ways. He's just trying to force himself through into that side control.
With this quarter guard that Brad has, he really wants to work that underhook. If you keep that arm smashed to the inside, this is gonna be really tough for Brad.
Oh yeah,
It's hard to load him up. If you had a lockdown, it would be a different story. But that's a real slight quarter guard that you see there.
And you can just see right here, like Pete was just trying to force his jacket. He just gave up on trying to grab the bottom of the jacket from the top. Oh, I think we may see the beginning of submission.
We might see that sneak that Darce under there.
Oh yeah, it looks like a baseball.
And that's
like
the
baseball,
risk of the underhook players from the quarter guard is you're leaving yourself wide open for those Darces. And Pete's got a good body structure for that Darce, kind of the longer, leaner type of physique. Those strong, thin arms can get under there.
Yeah, so he's
it looks like he's
trying to see, but yeah, okay, so yeah.
Now back to
so while Pete did have the top pressure for that, he unfortunately just didn't have it secured underneath to fully close like that vice scissor like grip you need to complete it.
With someone like Brad, you're going to have your grips absolutely perfect, and anything short of perfect is just not going to work out for you. But Pete's controlling the tempo now, and like I said earlier, when you're in a spot that Pete was in, you really let Brad be active, see what he's going to give you, and then, just take your time. Slow the pace of the match down. And here we are, Pete's in control.
I don't think he has zero intentions. Oh, Brad reaching up for the baseball choke.
Yeah,
now.
And I've been stuck in that. It's not fun. The baseball choke is sneaky because you don't think you're about to pass, or you think you've got a dominant position, and next thing you know, the lights are going out. So the first few minutes of this match, I certainly gave Brad the upper hand because he was being so active from the guard. But at this point, Pete's really controlling the tempo.
And not the 2-minute mark, and there's a, right there at that position, Brad was on all fours. He decided just to flip him back, go back for the attack.
Right. Here comes the underhook. Look how he's feeding that gi under right there. Okay, that is acting like it's as if you had a long arm and you've got the underhook. And here he's going to come up for this sweep. I like the position Brad's in. He's got to turn those hips to the ground.
He just needs to be able to.
Here it comes.
No.
Eddie tried to sneak back under.
Yeah, so Pete was able to keep his right knee. He was able to pressure with him to help keep him flat again. Even though he was trying to sit up, he was able to use his right knee
to counter. And it was good awareness from Pete in that position.
And once again, you see Pete coming over on
going
top.
For this hybrid Darce under there. Here it is. Now we're looking at a full Darce, and this is not fun under there. And it's actually a little tighter from the half guard, so Brad's got to be really, really careful here. He's going to come up for that sweep, but he's in trouble with the Darce.
Yeah, I see. I think that as long as Brad is able to keep that, as long as Brad's able to keep that he wasn't able to apply like full pressure because I don't think Pete was willing to commit to put himself into that position.
That's right, because you don't want a guy to sneak out the back door with that underhook.
Oh, never mind. You may be wrong. You got it there, right there at the end.
It was hard to see exactly what transpired at the end here. Unfortunately, our line of sight wasn't great, but it was a submission for Pete.
It's our first submission of the day.
Yeah, heck of a match, though.
Yeah, Pete Jeffrey, Triforce MMA, winner via submission over Brad Wilson. And, hats off to Brad. Like I said, he came out ready to fight.
Oh, he came out. I appreciate when someone comes out and they, if you're going to pull guard, work your guard. Don't pull guard and butt scoot around and try to look fancy or play super defense. Pull guard and be aggressive. So I really appreciate that effort from Brad.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it'll now be time for blue corner, clear.
I know you go to MMA Collective. Here I have Todd Muckenheim from Black Hole BJJ versus Tom Clear, and Tom Clear here on the left.
We got our first no-gi match of the night.
Definitely. First light heavyweight, 205 pounds.
Wow, look at the legs.
Big boys, big boys, big boys. These guys look like they eat chunky soup, you know?
So what we're going to see when we go to no-gi versus gi is a little bit more wrestling on their feet as opposed to judo, and that's exactly what you saw right there. Kind of a hybrid, single leg takedown. Of course, with no-gi, everything's a little bit slippery. You can sneak out of things that you don't ordinarily sneak out of in gi. So the game is a little different.
Oh, definitely different. Yeah, you talk about wrestling, definitely, Tom on top is definitely keeping that wrestler's approach. And something I'm a fan of, keep your hands clasped even though you're on top, just right below their hip and just continue to drive forward.
And here we go. You're going to see the shoulder pressure. Here we go. And for the pass, it's a real aggressive start.
Yep. And, you see that leg extended because he's gonna take that leg, that right leg of his where that knee is, he's going to tuck it in towards his hip. He's going to start driving a flat amount against the mat.
And that's what I really like to see. If you're going to shoot in and take someone down, no different than if you're going to sit on your butt and pull guard. Be aggressive. If you're going to shoot in and take someone down, be aggressive, work your pass. Just don't plop into someone's guard and be happy with the takedown.
And Todd doing the right thing. Todd bridging there. You say he turned into him. Todd on his knees now. And just, once again, even, not where you want to be.
And he's going to sneak in that hybrid choke there. It's kind of a hybrid guillotine, and he gets the tap.
Nice, nice. That was sneaky. I like it. So we have our second submission.
It wasn't quite a guillotine because of the arm position. It was like a little bit of a hybrid, almost like a Japanese necktie meets a guillotine.
Arm and guillotine. It was like a step over arm and guillotine. And if you guys watching on YouTube right now enjoyed that match, throw a couple dollars on TapCancerOut.org. Once again, all the money being donated today is going 100% to support Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation. Help us tap cancer out. That was great. I'm going to steal that. I'm going to use that now. Now when I get in that position, I see people, I'm totally doing that.
Well, in the day of YouTube, you get a chance to watch all of these matches and actually see things, moves in action live. A lot of people watch moves and, you watch people coach online. It's real important to watch matches online so you can see what's working live.
Definitely. But all you white and blue belts, listen to your professors. Do not do the YouTube video.
Or if you're going to do a YouTube video, just one per week. One per week. Limit yourself.
And pay for the private session. Do not ask in the middle of the class.
And then here we are back to gi.
Red corner, Ortega representing Brooks.
Oh, this is nice. This is a classic New England versus New York.
And, of course, just being named Thiago Alves, you must be good at jiu-jitsu. That is the quintessential Brazilian name.
Nice. Yes, 2 professional fights.
Of course, when you come from a pro fight background, you develop a level of intensity that you just don't see from, guys who are really like gym rat jiu-jitsu guys. You'll see a whole nother level of intensity. It should be really interesting to watch.
Yeah, this is once again one of those, I don't want to be on the mats.
And a pretty guard pull there. And they're going to settle in here. You're going to watch it's interesting so far. We've watched the light heavyweights go, and they had a really good tempo. I'd like to see these smaller guys really match that.
Now, the one thing I do want to see this trend that we've seen in our earlier gi matches, that we're going to continue to see the lapel pass, the lapel feed through the legs to continue to be a thing for the guard player.
We've seen that a lot more. Of course, you get pro guys. Oh, here we go with the stand-up. This is an interesting spot because you can actually pop up. As the guy in the bottom, you can pop up and grab the head and really control the clinch. But at the same time, it's a big risk. Those legs are taking they're using up a lot of energy with the legs just to hold yourself up.
Uh-oh.
You would think the guy on top is holding him up would be using more energy, but that's usually not the case. Those hamstrings start to get tired in that spot. And he's going to kind of swim under, see what he can hold a different guard.
Yeah. Thiago definitely, trying to turn out. Grab the belt. Rancho.
He's going to control that far leg. And here we go, back to a closed guard.
Yeah,
classic lapel control.
Yeah, I see Junior is more than content to just like sit back down.
And for those white belts who learn a hip bump sweep, I don't know if you just saw that, but you just had a black belt give one a try, and a lot of people view that hip bump as like a move that only works on white belt. That is not true. You see it here at the black belt level. He didn't pull it off, but you got a black belt defending it. There is a place for all those basics.
And Thiago's showing that he will not tire out. He's letting it be known that he is willing to commit to stay holding the guard even if you stand up.
Yeah,
so.
and it's a little different for me. I got a few pounds on him. I know I've been in that spot, and my legs start getting tired by literally every 10-second increment. Your legs get tired.
And Thiago doing the smart thing, taking full advantage that he's willing to stand up, get the feet into the armpits, try to make something happen.
And I like the aggressive guard play. Right now, even though he's on the bottom, he's got his opponent on the run just a little bit. He's using the guard on his terms. Now he's going to go for a little lapel play here. And the beauty about the lapel play, there's literally dozens of different types of setups that you can use. There's stuff being invented as we speak. Once you get a hold of that lapel, it really controls all of your shoulders.
Yeah, it's like definitely once again we're just seeing them sneak. We're just seeing them sneak out. Sneak either the hand or the lapel like through the legs. Ooh,
and
nice
he just
sweep.
rolled up into a mount position.
But something
lapel
looks
work.
like the refs called something there. Are we getting reset? Oh, little timeout here.
He's going to tie up and get him back in play here.
Was the sweep valid or no?
Well, it's hard to say the ref stopped him before I think there would have been any points awarded if we were counting points. In my book, it would have counted as a sweep.
No, actually no. Looks like there was an issue with the belts being tied up.
Right back to the guard play. He believes in his guard.
Oh, definitely. If you're being that aggressive from the bottom, if that was my guard, I'd be a believer too. And wow, that was
nice sweep. That's his set. Well, technically his first sweep, but
Junior cannot settle here. If he was that aggressive from the bottom, what do you think's going to happen once he's on top? And you see there, he's passing that lapel.
Yeah, he's obviously super experienced in the gi. And here comes a hybrid. This choke is kind of a hybrid of an Ezekiel and a paper cutter right here. Bread slicer, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, he needs to start bridging soon. If he sits here, it's going to be over.
Right now, he's got to bridge because if he bridges, he'll get him to let that choke go, or else he's going to get swept.
Yeah.
But as a top player,
I see it coming across the face too, so I know it hurts.
It hurts. And
that leg went. No, you're still in here.
Usually, the day later after this, you'll have all sorts of cuts on the inside of your mouth, and that's not fun.
Definitely a trip to the dentist. They were going to get a stop here.
And this is the right point to stop. No action from this quarter guard. It's interesting to see it not stopped here and reach centered because there's not a lot of action going on here.
Yeah, but if you look, you see that Junior now has Thiago's lapel. So he's
hard to see from my vantage point here.
Junior was trying to do something with that lapel, but
he comes over for the top mount position, the top triangle. This is one of my favorite positions. And the beauty of this is you really don't even need to close that triangle. You can finish this triangle, and he's going to close it as he turns right here. That's it. Now he's going to control the head. You could switch off, and here it is.
This might be done unless Junior
and he's going to make that adjustment. That's someone who knows how to apply a triangle right there. Here comes the head control. This is a real bad spot, and there it is. There's the finish.
Definitely, yeah. He did not give Junior not even a moment to be able to start turning like counterclockwise, like to break out of it.
A to Z, he was in total control of that match, from the bottom, from the top, from the quarter guard, and that's, just excellent execution at a black belt level.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, your 155-pound winner, Professor Thiago Alves from New England United.
And here we are. And to the winner goes the spoils.
Oh. Hey, you want to tap me out real quick on the mat? They're giving out bags. I could use one of those. And if you like those bags, you see the winners getting, go to TapCancerOut.org. They're right there in the little merch store. Looks like they've restocked, so go grab one today. You can fit your gi in there. You can fit a couple extra meals for your little, your after meal.
You can even buy yourself a new gi while you're there. They have.
Actually, I'll say this: I love the rash guard.
The rash guard. I
guard
see people wearing them all the time. They're really popular around this area.
Definitely. The rash guard fits great, feels great. The bag is great because the bag expands a lot. It has like zippers to control how big you want to expand it out.
Gotcha. I actually like a rash guard that's a little bit more snug, as it holds me in like a stuffed Italian sausage.
Oh no, I definitely like it. Makes me look slim.
You asked for an extra couple of pinstripes on there for the slimming effects.
Part of those proceeds will be donated to Tap Cancer. Hanabaro. And his opponent, currently making his way down to the mat, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Soul Fighters, this is Diogo Figueiredo. Blue corner, going home.
All right, and we're moving to another big boy matchup, 195 pounds. We have Vinicius Carabarro from Coventry BJJ with the black gi with the red belt, and then Diogo Moreno, Soul Fighters.
And I appreciate you rolling the R's on these last names because I don't have a hope. Because Diago comes from Soul Fighters. Now, the Soul Fighters team is a really, really strong competitive team. Very aggressive grappling. This match is going to be lightning.
Still Vinicius fishing a little bit there for the leg. Guys a little bit of a stare down. Ooh, and then we're going to get these guys pulled back to the center. Nope, not yet.
Up here. We've seen a little judo play here. It's always fun to watch.
Man.
He's taking more of the double inside control with his hands. That's a little bit more of a wrestling-based take on it. Of course, he's got his fingers taped up like a 30-year jiu-jitsu pro. God bless him. You know, right here, you're
I start worrying if my opponent has his hands taped up like that. Like, oh man.
Ooh, a couple of things you look for when you see that big cauliflower ear and those fingers taped. That tells you this guy has been around the block.
Yeah.
Still some hand fighting going from the feet here. You know, it doesn't look like much, but you know, getting just an inch advantage on some of these grips can make all the difference in the world. Even if your intent is just to pull the guard, you really want to get the grips on your terms.
Yeah, definitely. And we're about to come like the first minute and a half has just been on the feet, but unfortunately not much action. You know, real tentative. Oh, there we go. Finally get something.
Shot for the single leg, and now for a trip. And now, see, that's what I like to see when you've got you're wrestling on your feet with the gi. You want to use level changes and yank that gi down, let him react and pull up, and that's exactly what you saw there. Walter, those muscles that you see in the midsection there, what are those called?
Oof, I've heard legends.
Something about those calling the abdominals.
Oh man, I don't know about that. At super heavyweight, we don't see that much.
Not too much, but you know these guys are pretty put together.
I have to worry if at super heavyweight though, I can see my opponent's six pack.
Walter, you know I love you, but you're in a category called the ultra heavyweights.
Oh, sorry, ultra heavy. If my opponent at ultra heavy has visible abs, I'm stepping off the mat.
Well, you know, we've seen, of course, everybody knows of Bob Sapp, the MMA fighter, 335 pounds with abs.
Yeah, if you look like Brock Lesnar, you're on the other side, I'm stepping off the mat.
Yeah, I'll take a rain check on that one.
So Vinicius here, there's some
aggressive guard passing. Of course, from the bottom, pretty crafty guard play.
Yeah, so very, very smart move there from Diogo's part. Diogo, the first thing he immediately did as soon as Vinicius was starting his attack from the bottom, he just took a step back and just re-engaged.
You know, and that's the way it goes at this level. You know, you make an aggressive move, you get that subtle advantage, then boom, it's right back to neutral, and you just, you reset and go for it again.
Let's see if it's here. Vinicius there posting up, trying to get up. He has that collar grip. But he might not have much as long as that leg was trapped underneath. But
he's fishing for that far leg. It's an interesting approach. And he's going to go to an inverted guard. I haven't seen an inverted guard for me personally since 1999.
We're gonna get that reset.
And do we have the pass? And just real crafty bottom work. That's what I'm seeing here.
Thank you. Oh, but man, at this rate, these guys are gonna end up outside.
Well, sometimes you see matches that are going, all over the mat, but that's usually an indication that they're being active.
These guys keep fighting off the mat. I'm just gonna start chanting ECW.
Of course, this is an opportunity for the long, slow belt tie.
Yeah, man.
And the referee steps in to assist it there.
That is the strategy. That is the strategy.
And here we go. We reset, and
it's like, don't rush me. It's the technique.
So far, Diego's been the aggressor. I'll give him that. But, we've seen some really good bottom play. Yeah,
definitely. What we're seeing really from Vinicius, in my opinion, is we're seeing that we see him. He's trying to start an attack, but he's just more trying to get Diogo to react so he can counterattack him.
Right, and he just hasn't seen the opening yet. And here's a good guard, Paul. The question is, when you pull guard like this, can you get to a guard on your terms? To some people, you see a guard pull, and okay, he's on his back, but do you have your grip where you want it? Are you close to setting up an underhook? And that's really what you want to accomplish when you pull a guard, is get to it on your terms.
Definitely. That's where, oh,
and
boy.
Kind of a, a pull down, a snap down. You do see some crossover from the judo world, from the wrestling world. In this case, that's a snap down that you would do from a collar tie, but instead he just used the gi top. Just get a hold of that gi top and snap him down and get him on the ground.
All right, and I think Diogo might have found the opportunities before this whole time, because now he is not back in position. He is definitely staying on top of him.
He's got control in this position here. He doesn't, at this spot here, he doesn't feel the need to get into a classic side control. It's not necessary because there's no points, at stake right now. In a more traditional point scoring system, sure, you get the points. But right now, you kind of want to think 2 steps ahead. Where are you going to chain your submissions? Now he's into a traditional side control here.
Yeah, so now here's the thing. We got a little under 3 minutes and a half. Now he's established side control. Where to from here? If you're Vinicius on the bottom, where do you go from here?
Well, you got to get busy. That's the most important thing. Get busy. You got to bridge those hips. You got to at least try to create some space. But with it comes a risk of having a black belt on top of you. And you extend an arm, you extend a hip the wrong way, you're going to be in a really bad spot.
And, just as you say, Diogo gets that knee on belly, immediately has that hand deep into his collar.
And for those who've never had a knee on belly before, it's just basically, it's more akin to drowning. It really just kind of sucks the life force out of you. It can really get you, your moral down in the middle of a match like this. Right now, you want to sneak turn into him. Turning away is going to get you put in trouble. There he goes. Now,
there you go.
It looked like a hybrid paper cutter from here. It was hard to see from my vantage point.
Yeah, well, from here it looks like it's just a cross collar, but
it's very possible.
But you put the knee on belly on top, and you're just not breathing.
No, and that's really what it comes down to. It's one thing to be choked, but then it's another thing to be choked while your diaphragm's getting basically pushed into your spine.
So your winner at the your winner at 195 pounds, Diogo Moreno, representing Soul Fighters.
Just put a real aggressive pace on him and just was relentless, and that's what I like to see. And you're gonna, at this level of grappling, that's what you like to see.
No, it was definitely a great match. You saw a lot of like that. Vinicius at the start of the match looking for like a lot of that counter play, but Diogo adapted well.
Red corner, Walton. And his opposition.
All right, so we got.
His way down to the mat, fighting out of the blue corner. This is Dion Forge. Blue corner representing New England United BJJ Forge.
And you heard it here. This is our.
We got a middleweight matchup here.
Now 185. We got Hernan Borges representing New England United versus Gerard Lawton. Gerard wearing the red belt, representing Team Lawton.
I like that low guard pull right there. That's a great way to stay out of trouble, and you get into the guard on your terms. And I've been talking about that all day.
And look at here, Gerard here has some accolades. He won the grappling industry's no-gi absolute champ. He's won the Toro Cup champ 2 times.
And anyone who jumps into an absolute division, at the very least, has a tremendous amount of confidence in their ability to, go against any weight, anytime, any place. And we got kind of a hybrid X guard here. It's kind of hard to see under this, see exactly where those legs are. But he wants to get that right arm a little closer to his head, and then you can start to extend for the sweep.
So this is also one of these weird positions. It's like something I actually like to do, where I see they're trying underneath, they're trying to do something, I just totally ignore it altogether, just continue the pressure on top.
Yeah.
You put the onus on the person on the bottom to do something.
100%. But it's a really, the X guard family of sweeps is really one of the good sweeps that's going to work against pretty much any weight class, anytime, anywhere. It's really hard to defend, and he's going to come up and doesn't quite up the sweep, and here he goes.
Yeah, Gerard.
Right back to a butterfly
Gerard
guard.
feeling very comfortable in that position.
To jump under, to do a guard pull and jump under into an X guard, you've got to be very confident in your bottom game, and that's a good thing.
That's a great thing.
I know what you're all thinking out there, that what do 2 heavyweights know from the bottom position, but we've spent our entire life having to sit on our butts for everybody.
Hey. I got plenty of heavyweight, ultra heavyweight tactics. I have the armadillo, my modified turtle guard.
You have what's just called the crush, which
the
is
meatball,
basically
the meatball.
And you've been personally responsible for many of my